If you have any interest in health and fitness, then you have probably heard of intermittent fasting. This way of eating has been getting extremely popular over the last few years, and for good reasons. First, scientific studies have established that intermittent fasting is a great tool for weight loss. There is also evidence that it could reduce body inflammation, prevent and reverse some chronic diseases, and increase lifespan. There are many ways to practice intermittent fasting, some harder than others. The warrior diet derives from the eating patterns of ancient warriors who consumed little food during the day, but feasted at night. It has been gaining in popularity in recent years, and is probably one of the most challenging types of intermittent fasting out there. Welcome back to the Good Health Gorilla. In today's video, we are going to discuss the warrior diet, more specifically its origin, its benefits, and the safe way to introduce it into your life. If you are brand new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below to let us know which topic you would like us to cover next. The history behind the warrior diet. The warrior diet was created in 2001 by Ori Hofmekler, a former member of the Israeli forces who later grew an interest in fitness and nutrition. He was inspired by the eating pattern of ancient warriors like the Spartans, the Romans, and the Persians. These great warriors were legendary for their physical fitness, their fighting abilities, and their great physiques. And what did they all have in common? Their way of eating. Although what they ate differed based on their respective cultures, Hofmekler realized that all these great warriors ate most of their calories at night. They only consumed small snacks throughout the day as they were busy training or fighting. Based on these observations and his personal experiences, Hofmekler created the warrior diet, promoting it as a way to improve the way we eat, feel, perform, and look. What and when can you eat on the warrior diet? If you choose to follow the warrior diet, you will have to undereat for 20 hours of the day, and then consume the bulk of your daily calories during a 4-hour window at night. This window is called the feasting phase. You are supposed to eat 85 to 90% of your calories during your feast. If you eat 3,000 daily calories on average, you will be allowed to eat 300 calories throughout the day. Then, you will have to consume the rest, which is 2,700 calories at night, during your feasting phase. Technically, you can consume any type of food during your feast, but you should focus on healthy and unprocessed foods. After all, ancient warriors had no access to transformed foods, and their entire diet revolved around organic whole foods. Indeed, to feed their soldiers, armies would grow their own food in their camps. They cultivated grains, seasonal vegetables, and also kept some cattle to slaughter for meat. If needed, soldiers would hunt animals like goats, pigs, elks, and wolves, and bring them back to the camps to be prepared by the chefs. Therefore, if you want to eat like ancient warriors, you should follow their example and focus on whole foods. What are the benefits and limitations of the warrior diet? First, the warrior diet is an effective way to lose weight, and it could help you shed a few extra pounds. Some large studies have shown that time-restricted feeding or intermittent fasting can help individuals lose fat while maintaining their muscle mass. Other benefits include improved blood sugars, reduced body inflammation, better heart health, and improved cognition. Unfortunately, there is very little research looking into the 20-4 eating pattern specifically. Most of the existing studies have investigated the benefits of the 16-8 or the 12-12 intermittent fasting methods. However, since the warrior diet is a form of intermittent fasting, it is reasonable to think it would provide the same benefits. And although it's not scientific proof, there are a lot of individuals testifying on forums and blogs about the benefits of the diet. They say it helped them lose weight and feel healthier in general. There are some possible side effects to the diet, such as stomach distension from eating large quantities of food in a short amount of time. People can also experience fatigue and hunger during the fasting period, especially in the beginning. Of note, you should avoid going on the warrior diet if you are under 18, pregnant, an athlete who trains at higher competitive levels, or if you take any medication that should be consumed with food or is time released. How can I successfully begin the warrior diet? If you have never done intermittent fasting before, you should avoid starting the warrior diet overnight. First, you need to get your body used to fast. Slowly shorten your eating window until you feel comfortable enough to go 20 hours with only very little food. Then, as per Hofmekler's recommendations, you should follow an initial phase plan to adequately prepare your body to maximize the benefit of the warrior diet. This initial plan is divided into 3 phases, each lasting for a week. Phase number 1, the detox. During your 20-hour fasting phase, you should consume only vegetable juices, clear broth, dairy products, hard-boiled eggs, as well as raw fruits and vegetables. Then, you should start your feasting phase with a large salad dressed in oil and vinegar. The remainder of your meals should include wheat-free whole grains, plant proteins, cheeses, and cooked vegetables. After 1 week of eating this way, you will be ready to jump into Phase 2 of the plan. Phase 2. High Fat Week. Just like in Phase 1 of the plan, you are only allowed to consume vegetable juices, clear broth, dairy products, hard-boiled eggs, and raw fruits or vegetables during your fasting phase. And your feasting phase should also start with a large salad with oil and vinegar, followed by cooked vegetables and a large amount of lean animal protein. Examples of adequate protein sources include chicken breast, eggs, white fish, and pork. Lastly, you should have at least 1 large handful of nuts during each feasting phase, which will provide you with tons of healthy fats. Phase 3. Concluding fat loss. This next phase will be the last necessary step to get your body into full fat-burning mode. This phase will cycle between periods of high carb and high protein intake. Basically, you will eat a high carb diet for 1 to 2 days, and then switch to a high protein diet for 1 to 2 days, and this will continue for the rest of the week. On both your high carb and high protein days, you will eat vegetable juices, clear broth, dairy products, hard-boiled eggs, and raw fruits or vegetables during your fasting phase. During your high carb days, your feasting phase will consist of a salad with oil and vinegar, small amounts of animal protein, and 1 source of carbohydrates like corn, potatoes, pasta, barley, or oats. On your high protein days, your feasting phase will also include a salad with oil and vinegar, but will then be followed by 8 to 16 ounces of animal protein and cooked, non-starchy vegetables like broccoli or asparagus. What to do after you're done with Phase 3? After you have completed all 3 phases, you can either choose to start the initiation plan all over again or officially begin your journey with the Warrior Diet. If you feel ready to start the Warrior Diet, you simply continue with the 20-4 eating pattern. During the fasting phase, you continue to limit your food intake to clear broth, fruits, vegetables, and low-calorie dairy products. You are also allowed to consume 0-calorie beverages such as tea and coffee. As for your feasting phase, it should mostly include animal proteins, vegetables, and nuts. As you can see, the Warrior Diet recommends sticking with simple and healthy ingredients. Back in ancient times, warriors did not have access to extravagant meals. The Romans, for example, were known for their fancy ways of eating, except in war times when their soldiers needed to be able to perform at maximum capacity. During this time, their diet mostly revolved around wheat, oil, meat, and cheese. They kept it simple to optimize their performance and fitness, which worked since they are considered some of the greatest warriors of all time. Other Warrior Diet recommendations. The Warrior Diet also recommends taking a multivitamin every day and other supplements like probiotics and branched chains amino acids to avoid nutritional deficiencies. You should be getting all of the nutrients you need if you eat enough calories during your feast. However, since you only have 4 hours to eat, you might struggle to get enough calories, especially at the beginning, which is why it's best to supplement. The Warrior Diet also suggests incorporating exercise into your daily routine to promote better fat loss. If you have never worked out or fasted before, you should start slowly with low-intensity workouts to see if you can tolerate it. As your endurance increases, so can the intensity of your workout. You should stop right away if you feel nauseous, dizzy, or generally unwell. You now probably get the sense that the Warrior Diet requires hard work and discipline. It is a serious commitment, but if you really want to try, do not be discouraged. You can find inspiration in the Spartans' way of thinking about fitness and health. After all, if you want to look and act like a warrior, you must also think like one. Spartans took a lot of pride in their strength and their physical abilities. From a young age, they learned discipline and hard work, especially when it came to nutrition. Just like the Warrior Diet, their nutritional plan was meant to provide them with maximal energy and strength without straining their digestive system. Although it might be difficult at first, if you put your mind to it and commit as a true Spartan would, you are definitely up to the challenge. And there you have it, the Warrior Diet done right in 3 weeks for quick weight loss. If you have already tried intermittent fasting and are ready for your next challenge, this might be just what you have been looking for. Were you inspired by the ancient warriors' way of eating? What did you learn from today's video? And are you thinking of giving the Warrior Diet a try? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next fun and informative video on nutrition. Until next time.